Today is July 22nd, 2025. Time now is 14:25 hours Eastern Standard Time. I'm ALLAN SAURINSTEIN, a Christian, founder and leader of Gangsters for God, the Jewish radical rebellious army of God, the real inglorious bastards, second generation OSS, training for the second Holocaust since the year of 2020. Monday, May 20th, it is now 10:51 Pacific Standard Time. We've been using Facebook for documentation since 2020 and prediction for the current event which is going on now. We're going to refrain from using certain words. The leader of this whole organization, okay, SINWAR, okay, is going to be killed very soon. And that of our stuff was fine prior to the war, when I was when people thought it was really funny that I was predicting all this insane and starting my army right now. So to document right now, that is what's happening. That is what's going to happen to that person. The one from Iran happened, okay, he's gone. Okay, the one from the Turkish one, he was gone.
In which there will be another Holocaust, and
There will be a second Holocaust. How do I know that? Because I freaking know. If it was for everyone to know without going through me first, then God would have informed you all.
Move!
Be a second Holocaust. I'm not effing around. I'm Jewish. Okay, how do I know that? That's my freaking business. People obviously have to find it peculiar to wonder why people aren't stepping in to help Israel to fight. This is a world war. Okay, the Holy Land of God, or you're not. Make a choice.
Another one bites the dust.
We're going to go ahead and make this live call now. For those of you that are attending, you could see what it would be like for somebody from the public to make an official call to ICE. Okay, so we're going to just do this raw right now, and I appreciate the quiet in here as we do this. Okay, thank you. You know, I do want to mention before I start, I'm noticing here on the ICE website, you know, my father, Alan Soren, who passed away in the last few years, you know, there's been a lot going on in regards to his death and things and that and this and that with my life and all that. But, you know, I do want to mention he rescued a lot of people. He's a big player in the United States Coast Guard. His whole life, we had our own private vessels. Big yachts my family owned. I'm going to say it now. Didn't want to come out and say it before, but I don't care anymore. Dad's not here anymore. I don't have any money. My mom took everything. So I just want to throw it out there. Be a big player in the Coast Guard and save a lot of people, and including also there's a lot of people that go out there on boats that don't know what they're doing, like a lot of celebrities that buy these expensive boats. And he rescued a lot of these people that ran up on the beaches and everything else, and this and that. And I have a brother that also served in the Coast Guard that unfortunately was let go during the Obama administration without any type of nothing, no retirement or anything. Just that's it, you know. So you know, what I've noticed is after, I guess, it's the Texas flooding and all that, it seems like the Coast Guard's actually getting some notoriety now, which I just noticed here. And I've been wearing all my Coast Guard stuff. You know, I started doing that when my dad passed on, because it just started making me feel safe, because you guys I was stabbed in the head and I was murdered, and here I am, you know. So I just started wearing all this around, and I just knew that I had to start doing this. And it's interesting now because you know, a lot of things go on between me and my dad now, and you know, I started getting to God before he passed on, but he'd always ask me, "Are you still teaching people about God?" Because it was, you know, I do teach and university lectures and everything on Judaism, and why the world is the way it is because people think that God is Jesus and Jesus is God, and that's why things go on. Say, oh, there's no God, that's why things are so bad. I can't believe in God anymore. It's because people don't believe in God. They think Jesus is God. So he'd always ask me, "Are you still teaching about God?" I said, yeah. I said, "That's good," you know. And so I've always done this, you know, like this is his shirt right here, you know. And you know, it's interesting because now the Coast Guard's got, so I noticed right here when I first come on here, it says that immigration enforcement is a core mission for the U.S. Coast Guard. As part of the DHS effort, the Coast Guard operates in the air, let me mention something. My dad also flew airplanes. My dad was a pilot. My dad was a very great man. He was a pilot, his own private pilot. We owned our own private seaplanes. We landed in Catalina. And we had all kinds of stuff, growing up. I knew that we had different stuff, so I never wanted to talk about it, because I always wanted to try to make not notice of myself, because I didn't want to get beat up or this and this and this and that, which ended up happening. But, now I speak about it, how great he was. He built his own boats. He was 10 years old going to Catalina. What happened to him at the end is pretty bad, which is now being handled and taken care of. Which brings me to the point of this, is that, I think my dad really it comes through me and works through me in some certain ways from the grave, because there's a lot of things now that are coming also to my mind, because the connection that I have and everything with what I know about the whole Holocaust and everything, this and that, with everything going on now, and I know everything that's going to happen with everything. But I feel like he's telling me all kinds of stuff in my family that needs to be handled, and things that I know that might have not been set right with him, and that was wrong, and things that were done to him that were wrong, and things that were done to me that were wrong, and my brother Arnold that were done wrong. So now things are coming to me, things that I gotta handle and take care of. To me, being an activist is having the nerve and just being really passionate about something, and having a drive for it, and the drive, one of the drives behind it, I can say, is my Jewish father, most definitely. And I know he's extremely proud of me. The United States of America military, that my family was very proud to serve over 50 years, and went back to my grandfather, who I have family that were in the Holocaust. Okay, so I'm very proud to be in the United States of America, and to also be a Jew. We got all the law enforcement, all the military for Trump. This is the United States of America. America. You got these sitting around here, getting dusty. And all you heard about was the Ukraine war. Okay, well, you should have heard more about the Israel war, since we are allies. So this, and the more Palestinian terrorists that see this, good. Make sure they put all their funny little faces on there. Make a choice. You either stand with God, or you're against God. So it's just interesting that I see this, because a lot of things that come about that confirm to me to go ahead and do certain things that I think about for a long time, to make sure that I'm doing it with my connection I have with God and everything, to make sure it's the right stuff. So a lot of things go on, and I've started to point that out now to a couple people that are very close to me in my life now, that I've reconnected with, because it's important for this person to know and to actually see it along with others, to see, wow, this stuff goes on. And this person did say that their mind is blown away with the things that they've noticed. So I'm assuming this person has been, behind the scenes watching all our videos and things like this, and the things that I speak about, because I know people do watch our videos, because the thousands of views are there. And like I said, I don't pay to advertise our stuff anymore, so it doesn't get circulated as it did before. But I don't go on the follows, I go on by the views. And I know it is very strange that just everything about me, and it is very strange. I can't explain any of it. I cannot. But I will tell you that I believe that my dad has me doing a lot of this stuff, and a lot of the smarts that I have comes from him, and people that knew my dad and know me, or that watch me that I don't even know watch me, or that I do know, see this, and I'm pretty sure in their mind, like, what the heck is going on here? So, anyways, because see, my dad didn't speak up too much with certain people. So like I said, your children are going to grow up to become adults. And if they make some of themselves, or they're able to get around, and people pay attention to them and listen to what they say, you better be careful. Watch out. Because just like the way of the Holocaust, watch out, because it's coming. You made a big mistake. The day that I came about, you made a mistake. That's when the day is that you're going to get caught for whatever all this weird crap that you did. And you know who, and the knows who I'm talking about. And the Hughes people, family, knows who I'm talking about and knows what I'm talking about. Which leads up into what's going to go on here. Let's see. So as part of the DHS effort, the Coast Guard operates in the air throughout our ports and on the water every day, working to catch smugglers and secure our maritime borders. I did notice, though, that you know, I don't know how long that's been on there, but after the Texas flood, I didn't know the Coast Guard was getting so much, because I don't watch the news. I already know everything. But as far as them specifically, when I skimmed through, I skimmed through the YouTube, I saw the Coast Guard, and then it took my attention because I saw in there it said about pray, and then I watched some little clip, and it was some people on their news, they were saying about praying and about God, and they said that they told the Coast Guard guy, it says, you're doing God's work.
Wow. Hey, listen, first and foremost, we know this isn't easy for you all. You're doing God's work out there, and sometimes the results aren't what you want them to be. It's rescue and recovery. And we just want you to know we're praying for you, and we thank God every day there are people like you out there who are willing to show up and do this, even on the tough days. So thank you so much. God bless you all.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for what.
So that's one of the things that goes on when it's confirmed to me that I'm supposed to be doing what comes to my mind that my dad is saying to go ahead and do, because he was also for Trump, regardless of what goes on with Trump, this and this and this and that. There's a lot of things I agree with and a lot of things I don't agree with. But the point is that he's for the United States, the security of the United States. So everything that I do with Gangsters of God has been just a mixture of a variety of everything that all has to do with things going on now, because the Bible is biblical, it's historical when it comes to the Jewish Bible, which is the Tanakh. I always look at the Art Scroll series, the one that this lady back here is holding up. Thank you. The Art Scroll series Tanakh. That is written by real Jewish rabbis. The Bible is only from Genesis to Chronicles. That's it. There is no other revelation or the Christians have. They wrote all that. The epistle and the John, Paul come along, write all about Jesus and everything and this and this and that. That's all Christians. They stuck that in the back of the Jewish Bible and call that their New Testament and call ours the Old Testament. The thing is that God spoke. God actually spoke to the Jewish people on Mount Sinai. He spoke like out loud. And that is the testament of God, is from Genesis to Chronicles, and so they can't say that's the Old Testament and theirs is the New Testament, because their New Testament has nothing to do with God. God's not in their Bible. But at one time does not speak. There's no mention of God anymore. God is non-existent. That's why people don't know who God is. That is why. They're brought up into that. They don't know. The end of the world means that until there is universal peace and disarmament of all weapons, this is what goes on. And until the world understands that God, the Creator, is one universal God of everything, there will not be disarmament of all weapons and universal peace. Once that does occur, that is when the Messiah will reign over Jerusalem in Israel, who is a member of who is not a spiritual being, who is a man, who is a line of the Davidic king, not anything to do with the spiritual. All Christian belief is spiritual. It's up in the himmels. It's up in the heavens. There is no sign that your sins are forgiven by somebody dying. You cannot see that. Okay? Forgiveness is with you and God. You ask God to be forgiven, and you try not to do the same thing again. Just like when you ask a person to be forgiven, what you're doing is they want to see something. They want to see it. They want to see that you're not going to do it again. That's repentance. But people don't know that, because as Paul misled everybody, thinking that you need to have Jesus. And the whole thing, why did he do that? Is purposely to pull people away from God. That is why this whole thing came about, because that is the false prophet. Jesus is also not, he never said he was God. We don't know there's not much about him. I mean, he did follow the Torah, but other than that, we don't know if he's a Looney Tunes, a quack or whatever, or if he even has long hair and looks like Fabio that you want to put on your nightstand. I know he's not a fat Jewish rabbi.
Who was revealed in the flesh. Basically, what they're saying in the Christian Bible, and certainly Christianity, is that Jesus was God. Now, how does that stem with our Bible? How does that square up with the Jewish scriptures? In the Jewish Bible, is God physical? Can God be physical? Can God be seen? Is God a human being? Will the Messiah be divine? These are all questions we're going to look at now. Exodus 33 verse 20, God says to Moses, "For no human can see me and live." You can't see God. Now if God came to the world as a flesh and blood human being, you could see God. In Numbers chapter 23 and 1 Samuel 15, we're told God is not a man that he should be deceived.
And the virgin birth is not a sign. You can't see that either. You can't see that. A sign is something that you can see. So, you know, my roots are Jewish. All Jews will return to their people.
In the Tanakh, in the Jewish Bible, what do we see about the Messiah? Follow carefully. We see that there are hundreds of passages that describe a future utopian world. There are hundreds of passages in our Bible that describe a future utopian world where, 1, the Jewish people return to God in national repentance and embrace the Torah. One thing the Bible tells us is that today in the world, maybe 20% of Jews really are following the Torah. The Bible's telling us one day all the Jewish people will embrace God and embrace the Torah. Number 2, the Jewish people will be regathered and reunited in their ancestral homeland. The Jewish people are not going to see who was revealed in the flesh. Basically, what they're saying in the Christian Bible, and certainly Christianity, is that Jesus was God. Now, how does that stem with our Bible? How does that square up with the Jewish scriptures? In the Jewish Bible, is God physical? Can God be physical? Can God be seen? Is God a human being? Will the Messiah be divine? These are all questions we're going to look at now. Exodus 33 verse 20, God says to Moses, "For no human can see me and live." You can't see God. Now if God came to the world as a flesh and blood human being, you could see God. In Numbers chapter 23 and 1 Samuel 15, we're told God is not a man that he should
God spoke directly to Moses and the nation of Israel, and all these thousands of people actually heard, and it's all written. This Jesus never wrote anything, and people didn't even know he was crazy or what, because, you know, Mary and Joseph didn't know what he's talking about. As far as they would try to find him even when he was a kid. He's in the temple saying, "I'm here for my father," God preaching for my father. They didn't know what he's talking about. It's also inconsistent there. This is all inconsistencies in their New Testament, because what they call the Old Testament, which is the Jewish Bible, we don't talk nothing of Jesus. Jesus didn't come around 700 years later. And we have nothing to do with Jesus, and we didn't have Jesus killed. Pontius Pilate was so cruel and violent that his own people had him thrown out of office. And he wasn't the person that's going to ask all the Jews, "Oh, excuse me, do you want me to kill this guy or that guy?" For real? He was killing Jews, hundreds of thousands of Jews on crosses. To anybody that he felt intimidated was claiming to be the Messiah. And also in the Bible, it doesn't make that clear. This is not Jesus. This is the Jewish Bible. This has nothing to do with Jesus. So when it's referring to God, we're talking about God the Creator that made like Adam and Eve and everything. That's as far as they know is the creation, and then everything's sinful, and they have to go to Jesus. That's all they know. Nothing. There is nothing to do with nothing. This is all man-made up, and then the whole second coming thing was just to come up with some crazy cuckoo-ness because they felt stupid that they believed that Jesus was a Messiah. The chosen means that you have to follow. God chose you to go through all this crap and to still stick by God. That's why all these things happen to the Jewish people, because we still believe that God is God and don't give up. And I made sure about my dad, and he knew I got a little thrown off with this whole Jesus thing from the person that gave birth to me, which I knew was a bunch of BS. But I always knew. So some of this stuff, Gangsters for God, if you look back years ago, it's gonna have a lot of Jesus stuff, but a lot of that was there to get attention, to get the attention I have now, because nobody's listening to a Jewish person. So I don't know sometimes what goes on. Stuff happens, and it's always for a good reason. But I was able to get the last words into my dad's ear by whispering and telling him, "I know what's going on. I know what she's doing. I know what she did, and I know everything that's going on, and we're gonna take care of this." So, anyhow, I just wanted to point that out about the Coast Guard as I saw this right now. And being Jewish and being an American is a very, very big deal. And I shouldn't have to walk around hiding this in my shirt because of all the Muslims that walk around, especially now where I'm at physically right now. A lot of Muslims. So the only way for me to actually feel good and safe, as I've been saying even before all this, back to 2021, when I started wearing all this stuff, this is the only way that I feel safe these days. That's it. And I can wear this now because of what happened recently with making sure that that he bombed the SH out of Iran. Finally, something happened, and like I said, somebody needs to make sure all this Palestinian stuff is illegal and gets them out of here. Finally, I knew that's what was going to happen, because God gave Israel to the Jewish people, and we stick by God, Hashem, only God. That is it. That is all. Let's move right along. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this call right now.
Homeland Security Investigations tip line. If you have a life or death emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Your information is very important to us. We are currently experiencing a longer wait time than normal.
Good.
If you prefer not to wait on hold,
that means
you may also submit your information using
that
the
means people are reporting people.
Red tip form located at
www.ice.gov/tips.
Please listen carefully as our menu options have changed. Para español, oprima número 4. If you are calling about an appointment with ICE or to change your address with ICE, press 1. If you are calling to provide a tip or add information to an existing report, press 2. For general information about the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Immigration, and Customs Enforcement, the Homeland Security Investigations tip line is for reporting crimes and violations of United States laws under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Homeland Security Investigations, commonly referred to as HSI, is the principal investigative arm of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, a component of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. All information received on the tip line will be reviewed by appropriate personnel. HSI retains the discretion to act on information based on resources and priorities. The tip line is for reporting only. Tip line personnel cannot provide any information regarding whether your tip will be acted upon, or when it might be acted upon. The HSI tip line accepts anonymous tips by phone, and through the web tip form located at www.ice.gov/tips. If you choose to report a tip anonymously, you may simply provide the information concerning the violation. If you choose to leave your name, contact information, or other personally identifiable information, this information may be subject to disclosure during an administrative proceeding or criminal trial. Your call will be recorded. Knowingly filing a false report is a crime, and violators may be prosecuted. Please select from the following options, and the next available analyst will take your call. Hold times will vary. To report the presence of illegal aliens or the employment and exploitation of illegal aliens in the United States, press 1. To report a person suspected to have engaged in a fraudulent marriage for the purpose of obtaining lawful permanent residency in the United States, or an individual or group known to arrange or facilitate fraudulent marriages, press 2. To report an ICE Most Wanted fugitive, listed at www.ice.gov, press 3. To report an individual or group suspected of involvement in terrorism or activities related to national security, press 4. To report activity consistent with human smuggling or human trafficking, press 5. To To report an individual or group suspected of engaging in crimes against children, press 6. To report customs violations, including smuggling of cash,
Let's
drugs,
put that one because the
all
person
agents are currently assisting
was
other
convicted of lewd or
Please remain on the line,
lascivious
and the
acts
first
with a
available
child
agent
under
will
14 years
assist
of
you.
age. The year of the last conviction was 2003, and the year of last release was in 2006. So, I believe this person did also marry a United States citizen, but I believe it was after he was released out of prison, I believe. And that might have been in order to have this, to also facilitate this person not being deported. I don't.
Thank you for your continued patience. You can also file your report
But
on our web tip form at
I'm calling right now because we want to know. And there are others that are wondering. Okay, this person, we're assuming right now. That's what we're calling. We want to ask a question. We want to ask if they can't help us. There is another line that we have to call. That's actually for victims or the family of the victims, called Voice, that they offer a lot of services to the victims or the families. One of the services that they offer that I'm interested in
Please
is
remain on the line, and the first available agent will assist you.
the whereabouts of the person. So, in other words, if we were to report this person, would I be a family member of the victims be privy to the information on where this person is located? Is this person out of the United States? Have they been deported? Are they still in the United States? That'd be something important for the person to know that is a victim or is a family member of the
Thank
victim.
you for your continued patience.
So that's why, I'm doing this. So like she, for example, had that question. So there's a lot of people don't want to call because they're nervous to call, even if you know you're not, even if you know you're doing something good, you're kind of still nervous to call, and I get it. Because people don't want their number on there, the government, they don't want to, so, you still gotta, I get it. But, we can't be afraid to make these phone calls. You just gotta be careful what you say, where you're calling from, who's around you, and that's...
All agents are currently assisting other
Don't
callers.
just stick to what you only
Please
know.
remain
But
on the
that's what I
line,
want to know. So
and
we're
the
gonna
first
ask them.
available agent will assist you.
We're gonna ask them, assuming that this person is not born in the United States, not a citizen. If this person came as an immigrant from another country, and they were legally in the United States, and they commit a crime, and they are convicted of a crime, once they are released out of prison, are they then subject to removal out of the United States back to their country or wherever? Who cares where they remove them from?
Thank you for your continued
That's what we
patience.
want to know first
You
before
can also file your report
anything
on our
else.
web tip form at
That's what we want to know. Okay, so again,
www.ce.gov/tip.
if somebody comes from another country, and I'll emphasize the crime at this point, they are convicted. This is what we are calling about. Okay, person comes from another country. They are convicted of offense code 288A, lewd or lascivious acts with a child under 14 years of age, and their year of last conviction was in 2003, and their year of last release is in 2006.
All agents are currently assisting other
Is this
callers.
person with
Please
1,
remain
2,
on the
3,
line,
4,
and the first
5
available agent will
aliases
assist you.
allowed to remain in the United States legally still? Or maybe that's why the person got married. We'll assume maybe they got married after that in order to stay here. I don't know how the government administration works. I don't know how all that works. But is this person even allowed to still remain in the United States? Even if they got married after, obviously,
Thank you for your continued patience.
with the current administration,
You can also file your
they're
report
smarter
on our
than the
web
ones
tip
that
form
were
at
back then. I don't even know who was in 2006. I don't know. But that's what I want to know. And there's a lot of people that would like to know the same thing. if you're allowed to be in here illegally and then you do something like this, are you still allowed to be in the United States? So that's what we want to find out. So, because so far it's all about the illegals, which we have to do the, we do the legwork on that to find out that. But this one is a special case because I know of this person.
Please remain on
I
the
don't
line,
like this
and the first
person.
available agent will assist you.
I don't like how this person was seen, how I through our investigations, what I've seen, where this person was at, and I've seen some things about this person that have come up in our investigation that I don't like. And I don't like this person for what they did. I've never liked this person. And I will bring up for the fact, my dad did never like this person at all. At all.
Thank you for your continued patience.
And
you can also file your report
nothing
on our
about
website
that
at
person
www.nbc.gov/tip.
or the people that he's in cahoots with are any good. None of them. If anybody still is in cahoots with somebody that's a convicted child molester and you have them at your house and you knowing what they did and that they did this to your own family members, you got something wrong with you, which would prove your character that anybody would believe that you your own self abused
All
your
agents
kids.
are currently assisting other callers. Please remain on the line.
That
and
proves
the
something
first
about
available
all those
agent will
people's
assist you.
characters. Especially if you've got your own kids that can use some financial assistance. Maybe you got one that was attacked so bad, has got staples in their head and homeless now. And you got your elderly husband locked up away in a nursing home. So that way your people, your child molester friend,
Thank you for your
could be
continued
seen
patience.
lounging it up at your
You can
swimming
also
pool in
file your report on our
2019.
web tip form at www.
While there's your husband wanting to go back home so bad. I want to go home. Come to find out, and then there's your eldest child that needs some help so bad, running around with staples in the head and homeless, and there you are living it up at your beach house with your child molester, a friend, and your whoever lounging it up at the swimming pool. 2019 on Facebook.
All agents are currently
That's the
assisting
character
other
of a
callers.
person
Please
that
remain on the line.
100% has a
And the first
character of
available
somebody
agent
that would
will
abuse their own kids. So anybody that has a child molester around them is a sicko. Anybody that has a child molester at their house during their grieving, supposed to be a grieving time for their children, to grieve their father's loss, and you have a child molester at their house with children running around that are from the family, is a sicko. So we're going to find out about this person, and just so happens I got an example of someone. So lady, you will find out your answer. You'll find out your answer.
Thank you for your
So we're going to go ahead and
also file your report on our web tip
we're gonna
form
go ahead
at
and call the voice one right now. I'm not gonna use the resource that we have privately to contact, because I want to show you from the public what somebody might have to go through. And being on hold this long shows that there are people making calls or just questions like I have, because the question I have is a very good question. It's a very good question, and people should, because if you look online, it mentions a lot about the illegal stuff, and it does say, we've looked several times, it does say exactly what I said, that yes, they are supposed to be deported. I'm only calling right now so we can hear it from an actual person.
And the first available agent will assist you.
That if the public were to call, this is what you'd have to go through. Which also proves that there are people calling. You don't have to be a paid law enforcement officer or a paid military personnel or a paid anything to call. The people that aren't paid, that are actually doing something, are the ones really making the fullest effort. Like the Coast Guard Auxiliary. People, you know, the Coast
Thank
Guard
you for
Auxiliary.
your continued
Those are
patience.
volunteers.
You can also file your report
National
on our
Guard.
website form at
Anybody that volunteers or on their own person, just their own volunteers, and representing a good cause, and is for real doing something good for society, like seriously, that's worth more than anything in the world. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna call the voice line right now, okay? But we did make a good important point right here, and another one is be careful what you do, because you never know when somebody that you might have had so feared, scared all their whole life, all of a sudden you're gonna get a voice on them, and people are gonna listen to what they have to say. Just always remember that, people out there that are narcissists and are abusers. Remember, the person that you abuse might one day get a voice on them. And all the people that know what you did to them, those people are now going to attract to that person that has the voice on them, because those people also knew that you were bad and just didn't want to say anything to you at the time, because you were probably the one that had the money. Well, now these people don't need your money. How about that?
Thank you for your continued
All right,
patience.
so we're going to go ahead and
You
stop
can
this
also
now.
file your
Let's go ahead and hit
report
the
on our website
lights,
form
and
at
then go ahead and you can go ahead and mingle with some of our guys, and I'll go ahead and meet you, and then we'll go ahead and we'll call the voice, okay? The voice is going to be on there. That is, again, when I try for the victims at a household separate line, and we'll go ahead and just describe our situation for you. And at the end, when all this is done, we're going to go ahead and handle this back through our regular means that we've already been doing. In other words, this has already been handled in a lot of different, it's so to speak, this situation, okay? But we wanted to bring this up as a perfect example, and as the epitome of filth and disgust, and to show that the good, and that the real God always prevails. Something will always click, or something will always get into somebody's head and say, hey, you know what? Just like this did. All night I'm exercising, at 3 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden this person's name comes into my mind out of nowhere. And then the last name out of nowhere. And this is back in July 4th, July 2nd.
Thank you for your continued
So unless you take care of something, it'll resonate you. Resonate. And when you know you really have to, and you know that somebody did something so bad and wrong, and you know that the jig's up now, and now you're up at bat, you better swing that bat. You better hit a home run. And you better keep going at that bat until you hit the home run. So you might step up to bat now. You might have to get back up to bat again and make sure that you handle business, because that is the only way that we will be safe. That is the only way. This person has several Facebook accounts.
All agents are currently assisting
Several.
other callers. Please remain on the line.
With
and the
all
first
different
available
kinds of
agent will assist you.
weird stuff. Okay, I can tell you this person lives in Burbank, California. Is a male, 5'8", 200 pounds, brown eyes, black hair, Hispanic, birthday 12/1/1950. People should also start looking on Megan's list if you're in California. Get to know who is around you. Don't fall for no BS that the neighbor next door to you is a nice person.
Thank you for your continued patience. You can
Don't
also
fall
file
for
your
that
report
shit.
on our web tip form at www.ce.gov/tip.
Because you don't ever know what is really going on with people. Just so people get an idea, there's what this person has on their Facebook. One of their accounts. This is the one that goes to their family members. Their family members think that that's okay after that they were convicted of. And then there's the Jesus thing for you.
Thank you for your continued.
There's the other picture a person has on their Facebook after they were convicted of child molestation in 2006. This is the account that their family members are on. That right there is what the person's convicted of. There it is right there. So if this person is not from the United States and came here and was here legally and did this, should they still be allowed to be here in the United States? I don't care if they got married. That was on purpose. That was because I remember something. I just can remember hearing certain things as a kid. But, you know, would that be allowed? Should this person still be here in the United States even if they got married? Who cares? We don't need people like that here. And there's the picture of this guy in 2019. Lounging it up at my father's house, who was laying in the nursing home. They wanted to go back home. This guy was lounging it up at his house in 2019.
Services, USCIS, or questions regarding green cards or visa applications, please press 1.
Well, this is the Homeland
Customs and Border Protection,
Security
or questions regarding
line.
border entry requirements or the trusted travel programs, press 2. For Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, or questions regarding immigration investigations, press 3. For transport, please wait while we transfer your call.
So there's a whole bunch of different numbers. But if you really want to know, this is what you have to do. Again, unless you are an entity and you have your, you know, but let's see. Or this happens and you get nobody. Okay, so that's also a good example for people to see that when you do want to contact some of these people. Now this was a contact information for DHS headquarters, and that was actually the operator number. Okay, so what also we're going to be doing is we're going to call the voice, okay? Because that's very important for victims to know that there is such a thing. Because you would want to know if you're gonna report somebody for something and they do, you know, ship them out or whatever. You would want to know where that person is. I think that's something that you would definitely want to know. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna call that right now, and we're gonna look into that.
Or voice line at U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. This service is to provide all available and releasable information for victims and their families who have been impacted by a crime committed by an alien who may be subject to removal. This is not a tip line to report a crime. To report a crime, please call your local law enforcement agency or the ICE tip line at 1-866-DHS2-ICE. To reach an English-speaking representative, press 1. Gracias por llamar a el centro de llamadas Martín. All calls are recorded for quality assurance purposes. Information you provide during this call may be transcribed and retained in our call logs. This includes names, addresses, phone numbers, other personal identifiers, vehicle information, and information related to criminal or immigration history. Additionally, ICE uses caller ID to identify your phone number and may record your phone number if it is available through caller ID. ICE may disclose the information collected during this call within the Department of Homeland Security or externally, as appropriate and consistent with federal law and policy. Providing information during this call is completely voluntary. However, failure to provide information we request may limit our ability to assist you.
Make sure you always have your information too, you know, ready to go. Hi, my name is Christian Soren, and I've got a question. I'll make sure I'm calling the right person first if I waste anybody's time here.
Okay, I'm sorry, so your name is Christian what?
Soren, SAURIN.
S-A-U-R-I-N?
Yeah.
Thank you, Christian. Okay, what is your...
Okay, so my question is, there's somebody that isn't a direct family member of mine that's married to a family member of mine, and I'm not sure if he is from the United States. I don't think he is. I think he's an immigrant from another country. He is a convicted child molester. He was released he was released from prison in 2006 back in the United States. So is he legally supposed to still be here or not? If not, then I want to call to have him removed. But my question is, as a family member calling this voice, would we be able to go through here in order to find out his whereabouts if they do indeed remove him? Would this be where we would call to find that out?
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
So, your question is you can call this voice number to locate somebody?
Well, we first want to find out, I want to first find out if this person is eligible for deportation since they're a convicted child molester and still here in the United States after getting out of prison. If he's not supposed to be here, being a family member of the victim, I want to know if we would be able to know the whereabouts if we register through voice here in order to know the whereabouts of this person if they go ahead and decide they want to remove him after we report that he's still here.
What exactly is it that you want to register for?
Well, I was looking that it's for the victims of family members that there was a crime committed against. So in other words, if I have my nieces and nephews were the victims of this person, would we be able to? Because we're just finding out about this, that he's not supposed to be here
I
now.
understand, but what is it that you want to register for?
So would we be able to register as the victims to know where his whereabouts are if they decide to remove him just for our own safety measures? Is that what this is for? One of the services it's provided?
So, I unfortunately wouldn't be able to provide you an answer to your question. That depends on the victim's status. So what I can do is take the information down and refer it over to if that's what you're looking to.
Well,
Our service notification, correct, on the subject if they're removed.
yeah, that's what I want to find out.
Okay, got it. Okay. So
But you know, first,
person.
well, first I'm trying to. Oh, let me give you his. You want his? Because I don't even know. I don't even know if he is supposed to not be here still or not. That's also what I guess I would need. Because if he is allowed to be here, then then obviously we wouldn't need any voice services if that's something you guys have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be determined by the business liaison. So let me go ahead and take the information down and I can go ahead and refer it to them, okay?
Oh, okay. And then they'll be able to find.
Provided your name.
Okay, so wait, let me make sure. So this person would be able to even find out if this person is supposed to be in the United States or not?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. So my name is Christian Soren, SAURIN.
Question, and what's the subject name?
His name is. Correct.
child molestation, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It says offense code
When
288.
convicted? Do you know when he was convicted?
It says here 2003, year of last conviction 2003, and year of last release says 2006.
You don't know his whereabouts at this time.
Oh yeah, I do know his whereabouts. Thank you so much.
Do you have a police report number?
I don't have any of that. I just know where he's at according to the Megan's website. I've got his home address. I believe so. Yes, in Los Angeles.
Just a moment, okay? I'm going to place you on a brief hold while I do this.
Thank you so much. Okay, so she's got me on hold right now, so that's my main focus right now, is to see if he's even still allowed to be in the United States, because this does not sit well with people, especially if it's somebody that you know of that's always around, or has been around kids after that, and now that the new administration, the government is here now things get brought to light that maybe people didn't realize before. Maybe I always thought it was kind of strange that this person could do these things, but yet he's still in the family gatherings, and it never sat well with me. But I wasn't the one throwing these family. These were always the adult people, the older people. So now, until I see, this is very in bad character of these people even have this person around, even if it's your own family. So if they don't want these kinds of people in the United States after they do something, and this person's been able to be here for this many years since he's got out, and nobody's done anything about it, well, then that's why we're calling right now, because this person has several Facebook accounts with all different weird stuff. Maybe it's not illegal, but it's stuff that wouldn't be appropriate to go with what he did. So obviously this person has no remorse for anything, and I know that for a fact. So let's see what the government says. If they say that they don't want this kind of person, because what I read online, it says that they don't want these kinds of people in the United States. So, but then I'm asking, the lady's been very patient with me, because I don't know how to even start by asking something. It's kind of it feels kind of a complicated thing, and they're very busy. They probably are doing a lot of nonsense and things, and people are like myself that don't really know how to spit it out right away, or that are hesitant to even call. You know, like we had a call again. So let's see what happens. If he's allowed to be here, you know, well then there you go. That's it. You leave the person alone. They're allowed to be here, and that's it. There's nothing you can do. End of story. And now we know. If they're not, well then they'll handle it. That's what they do. They will handle it. But at least you did what we did as morality, not just being a citizen, but that comes along, but just your morals alone. So let's see. Oh, here we go. Yes.
Okay. Question. How did you hear about the voice on this?
Online on the Homeland Security website.
Okay.
Just doing a lot of investigating since the 4th, since I decided to go ahead and call, making sure I, you know, had enough info.
Got it, of course. Thank you very much. Alright. So I think I have all the information I need on the subject. You provided a phone number. What is a good callback number for you?
Okay, let me give you a number here.
.gov.
Vinelink.dhs.gov.
Yes.
Okay. And then, is that something I do right now?
Yeah, you can go ahead and follow the instructions there. It's pretty much to sign up for the Victim Information Notification Exchange.
Okay. Victim Notification Exchange. Okay.
Okay, so you want to go ahead and find the perpetrator. Go ahead and input exactly the information that you provided. The first name, last name, country of birth, and birthday.
Let me ask you, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the country of birth, Mexico, I'm pretty sure that was it, but I'm not 100%. So if I put that on there,
Yeah, it should come up with the information that you provide if it's already like the matching date of birth and first and last name.
oh, it'll come up then like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
you can also search for the offender in your state as well. That's also an option.
Okay, but your match, you showed that was correct, Mexico then? So that...
So I wouldn't be able to provide case information, only the victim liaison. So I'm going to go ahead and your phone number. I don't know if you want to provide an email address as a second contact form.
Yeah, that's fine. You can...
Okay, go ahead and... Okay, what is it?
Okay, my email address is...
So I'll also note in here for the victim liaison, and this information is kept confidential. They will pretty much they'll be reaching out within 2 business days. I do want to inform you that when they do reach out, the caller ID may appear as private number or spam.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and then I'll go ahead and provide you with the case number as a reference to this call.
So I still don't know though. Is this somebody that's supposed to be removed?
So that's the information that the victim liaison will provide.
Oh, okay. So
They
okay.
will be reaching out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then when they... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no. Yeah, so this information that you provided will be annotated and referred over to the victim liaison. They will go ahead and review the case and contact you so they can provide you with the requested information.
Okay, so then we don't call the tip line then. This is all we do.
If you want to go ahead and make a report, I can go ahead and do so.
Okay. Yeah, because I guess so we take care of all avenues just to, if we could.
Now, as far as the report for the tip, the address that you provided, are there any pets or firearms in the home?
I do not believe so.
Okay. Children in the home?
I don't believe so.
And now, do you know if they are employed?
I don't believe they are.
Okay. What kind of vehicle does he drive?
I don't know.
a phone number for the
You know, I don't have a current one. I don't have a current one.
It's not current. Okay.
I don't even think I. Yeah, I don't even think I have one.
No problem. Well, submitted information to the ISIM department. That is a different department. We can go ahead and take the report and refer it to them. They can go ahead and continue with the investigation.
Okay.
Okay, that would be a different department. So, and the inquiries regarding that, it would be the department directly. If you also want to go ahead and provide like an anonymous tip, you can state that. Do you want to go forward with your providing your name, or did you want to go ahead and remain anonymous?
Well, I mean, if I provide my name, because I want to know what happens with this person, since it's somebody that committed a crime against my family members who were children at the time.
Okay. I just want to verify. I know you stated that he was convicted in 2003. Was it in 2003 that the crime was? Not in 2003. The year of the crime.
I'm not sure of the year of the crime, because, you know, I'm going off of the Megans, with the public info on the Megans.
Okay. Okay.
You know, it's just, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning on June 2nd. I'm working out in my exercise. All of a sudden his name just comes into my head. And I've, you know, been, you know, volunteer, you know, I like to do volunteer work, you know, sometimes for the Coast Guard or different things like that, you know. And so it came to my mind. I thought, is this guy supposed to be here? And I don't know how his name just popped up in my head. So I thought maybe I need to figure something out. What's going on with this dude? So I started investigating on my own. Found, you know, different Facebook accounts. He's got this and that. And I thought, this guy, you know, let me see if he's even supposed to be here in the United States anymore. So that's kind of how I came all about this. And you know, I do know of the guy. He did marry an aunt of mine, probably after he got out of prison to be able to stay out here. I'm just assuming what I've researched on my own. But yeah, if this guy's not supposed to be out here anymore, and he's been out here this long, I definitely think he should be removed out of here. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
that is the information that you are requesting here in the report. So when the business office reach out, they can go ahead and look into it.
Okay.
Okay, I believe to have all the information I need at this time. Is there anything else that I can assist you with, Christian?
No, I appreciate your time, because, you know, I can, you know, give other people information now that I, you know, made the calls on this and that, and on, you know, because I think a lot of people sometimes are nervous to call, or they don't, or maybe they have to be on hold, or they don't look into this kind of stuff. So I really appreciate your time, and I appreciate what you do, your service, and everything. I really appreciate you guys. And so, yeah, I guess that's it. I'm really happy you guys do this, because my family's Coast Guard. They rescued a lot of people. My brother, you know, fought off the terrorism, and so I'm really glad that this person's name came into my head, and I'm able to figure something out, if this person's still able to be here or not. So I really appreciate your time and everything. Means a lot to me.
Of course, absolutely. Question, would you like to release information on the victim, first and last name?
You know, I don't even know the last names anymore, because they're grown, they're older now, so I'm not very close to them. You know, so I'm not sure. And you know, I'm doing this on my own. They don't even know I'm calling. I'm doing all this on my own, so, you know, and you know, so that was also a big decision I made, because, you know, in regards to, you know, whatever family members are going to get hurt by this, it doesn't matter. They should not have had this person still in even welcomed into their family life, as far as what I can see.
Okay. No problem. Thank you, Christian, for that information. So I'll go ahead and refer it over. If there's something else I can assist you with, thank you so much for calling the
Okay, thank you so much. God bless you now.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye. Okay, so go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and shut this video off. We're gonna go ahead and hit the lights, and we're gonna go ahead and discuss everything that just happened, everything. And there it is, unedited. Like the only thing we had to do a couple times, hit the pause button. We had to give out some private information, and then we'll go ahead and you guys are gonna have to edit out some of this. Obviously, I might have said a few things here and there, which is not something that I may want the public to know. But it felt very good doing that. There's nothing I have to be worried about. I haven't done anything wrong. I had done nothing wrong. I'm a United States citizen, and my family proudly served the U.S. military, and we're Jewish people going through everything that we just went through. And, you know, me as a kid, I was abused. So, you know, this really impacts me, where I'm pissed too. So, you know what? I'm glad. Thank God. And again, people out there that watch us, watch what you say and watch what you do to people. Because at some time in their life, they might just say, you know what? I've had enough. Enough is enough. Peace out. If he is supposed to be removed, which according to everything I'm reading online, he's supposed to be not here anymore. Once they're convicted and they're released from prison, I'm under the understanding they're supposed to be deported. Isn't that what's supposed to go on? They're not supposed to still be here?
Well, I'll go ahead and submit your request, like meaning like what you're asking of his case status, and obviously that if he would be eligible, and then whatever I submit this to headquarters, and then whatever they respond, I'll submit it back to you via email within 8 to 10 working days. I just kind of want something maybe to consider is also like just some like California is also like a sanctuary state, but I will either way submit your request, and then whatever I receive, I will go ahead and let you know via email.
Okay, so just to make sure everybody understands, the reason I called is because I'm the family member of the victims. This guy's married to an aunt of mine. He was convicted of child molestation in 2003, got out of released from prison in 2006, still in the United States of America. And I want to know now if he was supposed to be deported, and he was not. And now under the current administration, if he was supposed to be deported, I would like to see him deported, as well as I'm sure all the other citizens and people that don't want a child molester right now that's not supposed to be here. And the reason I called Voice is because of being a family member of the victims. I would like to know where he's at for their safety and everybody else's. Voluntarily manpower to make sure that these ICE people could just go out and do the action and nab these people that are convicted criminals that should not be here anymore. Once you're convicted of a crime in the United States of America and you are an immigrant, we don't want you here anymore. You need to go. You need to leave. So I've made up my mind, and I've determined the fact that, you guys can quit. If you are an immigrant to the United States of America and you came here and you committed a crime against our children, our families, our loved ones, Gangsters for God will find you. We will find you, and we will not ever appear to you physically, because we don't do that. But we will locate who you are, where you're at, everything else, and we will turn all your information over to the ICE authorities to make sure you're removed from the United States so that you cannot harm anybody anymore. Because we know what you're doing. We know your game. We're investigators. We look through everything. That is our assignment right now. I am not paying for you guys to put any of our stuff anymore on social media. No more. I've already made a name for myself on Facebook. If anybody really knew what we were doing, but apparently not, because if people knew what we've been doing all this time, then all this whole Holocaust, Israel war, everything going on would never have happened. I was able